probably about 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mm.
and I hear somebody crying, and I go, "Who's crying?" Right? So I go out my room and I look down the hallway. The hallway wasn't too long, right? So I look down the hallway and I go, "Where's this coming from?" And I'm just staying quiet. I go, "Who's crying? It's 3 o'clock in the morning."
Mm.
And I get closer to my mom's door and I find out she's crying. Well, as a kid, you're nosy, right? But I don't want to open up the door and have my mom yell at me or something happen. So I remember looking through the little crack at the bottom of the door, and I'm looking and I see like a candle, and it's crazy. I see my mom on her knees praying to this rock, and she was crying. And she was crying because she had actually just got laid off from her job, and she didn't know how she was gonna pay rent. So at that moment, that's what really that killed me. Me seeing that killed me because I gave my mom such a hard time going through school, kicked out of high school, right? That whole deal, kicked out of middle school. I mean, you name it, just always getting in trouble. So when that happened, I go, man, what's going on? And that right there, like even me telling it got me hot right now because to me, it's like just flashbacks of that one moment of saying, man, where are we going to go? We're already in low income apartments. So I'm now thinking what's going to happen now? Right. And that's what really made me change everything about myself. That one moment right there.
Wow. That's big, bro. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Listen, we're almost at 200 people, 176. Let's get up 177. We're going to get it to 200 minimum. But hey, listen, you guys, we're in for a treat. These guys are young. They're 28. They're 26 years old. They're already at 200,000 of income. You understand that most people at their age, right, they're excited because they're making 50 grand a year. These guys are just getting started. We would say babies in the business, already at 200,000 of income. And they've only been in the business for 6 years. And Sergio, you guys are recently just got engaged too.
Yeah.
Hey, you fired up about that?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm super excited. The next stop is, we gotta create something new, some new energy, right? We gotta bring something new into the world. So we're working on that. That's a work in progress.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Bro, you used to be a former warehouse worker, and you used to do some MMA fighting. I can't wait to hear a little bit about that. I know that Kylee used to work at a juice bar and was a part-time student, right? So you had no experience really in sales and financial services, right? But you guys have been doing a great job. I was looking at your numbers, man. Last month, listen to this, guys. 93 recruits, 56,000 of premium. This month, they're already at 23 recruits, 25,000. I'm sure that'll change by the end of the night. But their average has been 68 recruits, and they run a solid $50,000 base shop. Sweet. Bro, you guys are on your game, man. And Sergio, the stage is yours, bro. Whatever you want to share, man, you got as much time as you need. Yeah. At the end, we'll do a quick question and answer session. But for now, bro, we welcome you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It's so crazy because I like I told you in the DM message, right? I was like, man, it's an honor for me to even talk to you guys in your entire hierarchy. Because to me, I mean, I look up to you guys. I see what you guys have done, just with your business, your life, family business, that whole deal. And I'm like, man, that's amazing. Anytime I see a family do that, build a family business, I see their kids in the business. I'm like, man, that right there is what I would want to do. So thank you guys so much for allowing me. And Kylie's actually right here. I'm gonna get her to talk. She told me not to, but she's recording me right now. Yes, you. So I'm gonna bring her up real quick, you guys. And I want you guys to see her, man, because without her, to be honest with you guys, I would not be where I am today. She definitely keeps me leveled because I could be kind of crazy. And one thing I can say is she was somebody when I had first started. She was working at the juice bar, right? And I remember I needed gas money. And she would be that person to give me gas money. She'd go, here, take it. Don't worry about it. Do what you got to do. She never gave me issues, never gave me problems with, because you're in this business. So I'm working with all kinds of people, right? So there has to be trust in that, And so she never, not once, ever gave me any issues or problems or anything because I was eat, sleep, and breathe Primerica when I got serious, which I'll talk about that. When I decided to get serious, she supported me and she was my backbone in this business until this day right now, which I'm going to tell you guys more about the story. We are where we are today because of her, to be honest with you. I'm the guy, let's say, out there loud and stuff, but she's the person behind the scenes, making sure everything is in order behind the scenes. So, baby, you got to come over here.
Yeah. Put her on, bro. Put her on. I know all the girls are looking forward to hearing
here you go.
Kylee.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody.
Kylee, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're excited. We're excited to have you guys. We were looking forward to asking you some of these lightning round questions. Can I ask you a couple of them? Would you be okay?
I probably won't do as good as Sergio, but yes.
All right, here we go. All right, so it's just these crazy questions. You might have heard them already. Let's see. Okay, why don't we go with this one? Who was your favorite teacher and why?
Honestly, I don't even remember any of my teachers.
Really? Okay, so we'll skip that one. What about this? Because Sergio really didn't answer this one, but I want to see if you think a little different, okay? If you had to pick another state to live in, where would you live?
So actually, I haven't traveled anywhere else but me being in Primerica, so I'm not too familiar with a lot of places. But I've always wanted to go to Greece, so I would say Greece.
Okay, wow, that's very different from California. What about this? I'm sure you like to shop, Kylee. If you can shop at any store for free, what store would you pick?
Okay, well, I do like to shop.
For a girl, that's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, it is. I would definitely say Zara. That's probably where I shop a lot.
Wow. Okay, cool. Last question. Kylee, what makes you cry?
Man. I would say it's similar to Sergio's story. I also have a story of my family also getting evicted from our home and us having to separate, going different ways just because my stepdad was the breadwinner and he actually got fired. And me being so young, I didn't really know kind of, the guidance of, taking care of a household like I do. I wish I knew about Primerica prior. But again, like I said, I was young. So definitely that. And I'm so grateful for Primerica just because of the fact that, we don't have to go through that. And especially, our family to come. And then even the family that, we do have, we don't have to worry about them going through that.
That is really cool. Really cool. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have one sister, 3 brothers, and step siblings.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Now, last question here. Sorry. How did you guys meet?
So me and Sergio have been together about 10 years. And pretty much partying is how we met.
At a party?
At a party.
Awesome. Okay. Awesome. So who prospected who? Did he prospect you or you prospect him?
So I actually started with him, so that's kind of how we met, and then from there we slowly just started talking.
Awesome. Wow. Well, congratulations. I know you guys are recently engaged. That's a big deal, and we're just excited to have you guys on. We know that you're just getting your career started. Like, you guys are just starting to take off, and it's so cool to hear from you now. Because, in a few years, when you guys are at $1 million of income, we're probably going to ask you to speak for us again. And it's going to be crazy to hear your story then versus now. I'm sure things are going to change a little bit. But thank you so much for joining us, Kylee. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, definitely. Well, since he got me on here, now I'm going to speak. So I want to go ahead and basically kind of talk about how I got started. So basically, before Primerica, I was, like he said, working at a juice bar, and then I was a student at Chasey College, and I was part-time, and then I was actually living with Sergio at the time too, and basically, it's crazy because we lived two different lives. I was, like I said, doing what I was doing, and then he was doing Primerica. So he would come home and he'd be like, oh man, like I need to go RVP. So he was on the run to RVP. And so I would hear that and I'm just like, okay, whatever that means, like, you know, I would make like notes, post it on the wall and just say, hey, look, you're going RVP. I didn't really know too much about it. It was just basically what he talked about when he came home.
Wow.
It's crazy because there's two pivotal moments that happened. Basically, he actually had a very serious conversation with me. And this is basically for all the partnerships too. There's actually like, you know, lessons to be taught in this as well, or teaching moments in this too. But basically he told me, he was like, hey, look, I'm going to do this with or without you. So either you're going to jump on or, you know, you're going to basically just keep doing what you're doing. And of course, me being so supportive, even when he was in MMA, I was always supportive. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be left behind. So that was a serious conversation because I knew he was taking it serious, that I knew that I also wanted to jump on board as well. And then another moment was also when another couple, they're now SNSD today, but they actually came down before I joined as well. And I actually had a conversation with her about, you know, me joining, because I was still kind of, I basically still wanting to do what I was doing, you know, going to school and working. I thought, you know, I would leave this for it to be his own thing. And she basically told me, she was like, hey, look, like imagine a triangle. And I'm like, okay, triangle. And she was like, okay, so imagine both of you are on one side. And basically, Sergio is going to be growing and he's going to keep going this way. As far as you're going to stay down here. So eventually, your conversations are not going to be the same. You guys are not going to be able to have, you know, conversations as if like him growing and me staying the same.
Right.
And I'm just, wow, like that's really big. And that really hit me to where I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to grow without me. You know, I want to be on that same page. So he was like, you know what, just quit your job and just come join the business. And basically I did that. And then right after that, I decided on my own to drop out of school. So I took the leap of faith and I basically just bought into his vision and I made it my own.
Yeah.
And
what were you going to school for?
So I was actually going to school for business as well.
Okay.
I always knew I wanted to own my own business, but it was in like fashion, of course, and fitness. I was kind of going back and forth with those. Okay. But I always knew I wanted to do my own thing. It's just, I think when we got evicted and all that, I was kind of course, scared, just being transparent. But I was scared, of course, you know, basically, you know, just put everything, I guess that leap of faith and, you know, just join him in his business because I was already doing my own thing. Okay. But eventually I was just like, you know what, it's bigger. When I started coming around the environment, all that was just so much bigger than what I was doing. Wow. And I really, and so that's why I just basically, like I said, I quit my job and I just dropped out and I joined and I have not looked back.
That's awesome.
Explain it. We're nowhere where we want to be, of course, but I have not worked for 6 years, or well, 5 years. Have not had a class, you know, and I've got to travel within the company. I've got to meet so many amazing people that, of course, you know, are all on the same level of wanting to grow, wanting to be somebody. And, you know I'm talking about partnership as well, but you also don't need a partnership. You know, if you're single, you have, you know, basically all you need is a downline, of course, but you have your uplines to plug into, you know, that becomes your partner, you know, so you have your RVP, you have your SNSD, so you don't need a partner to win here, of course. But of course, me and Sergio are in a partnership, but yeah, so basically that's a little bit about me. But I just want to go ahead and thank you guys so much for allowing us to speak, and then I'm going to turn it over to Sergio.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Kylee. That was huge. Thank you so much. You did awesome.
You did amazing. Good job. Good job.
You did. Now, bro, so is Kylee like normally like you're the outgoing one and she's more the shy one?
Yeah, 100%. That took so much. She does not speak like that. This is probably the longest she's spoken for anybody.
Really?
And
Wow. That is so cool. What a blessing. That is awesome, man. Well, hey, listen, you have a great partner, bro. You guys, I was telling everybody, right? I think before you joined us, I said that all of us here, there's a bunch of RVPs on here now. We would all love to have a Sergio and Kylee in our organization, man. But again, bro, the stage is yours, man. Let it rip.
awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Alex and Andrea. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started with this. You guys, it's so crazy because I hear Kylee speak, right? Me listening to my partner speak and stuff, and there's so much growth. And that's what, if there's one thing I can say about this business, it's you grow so much. You know, and you guys ever hear that saying, like, if you're not growing, what's happening? You're dying, right? If you're not growing, you're dying at the end of the day. After school, a lot of people get stuck because they stop learning. So the problem is this: you go to school and stuff, right? You're literally in class being forced to learn, which is not a bad thing, believe it or not. It's not, because you're at least learning something, right? But now after school, now when you're out in the real world, you got to make a choice. You're either going to choose to grow, you're going to choose to learn, or you're going to just choose to what? Do what everybody else does. And that leads me to what I'm going to talk about right now, guys, which is just how I got involved. It's so crazy because I remember when that incident had happened with my mother, I said, I'm going to find a way to make it. I'm going to find a way. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to find a way to make more money. So money became very, very important to me at a very young age. And it all happened like this, guys. It got so important to me where I was too young to work a job, you know, but I was hanging around the wrong crowd. I'm not going to lie. Never brought nothing bad home, but I was hanging around people, you know, that were making money doing other things, you know, the neighborhood hope dealer, right? That's what I was doing, right? So I was out there, you know, doing whatever I could to make money. And I remember one time my mom asking me, like, hey, like, you have not asked me for money in a long time, you know, like what are you doing? And I just said, Mom, I'm just, you know, I'm okay. I'm good. And so I kept brushing it off, and I just kept finding a way around everything. But and it sounds so crazy because I think she had an idea something was going on. He's doing something, you know, and it didn't help that I would come home and kind of smell sometimes, right? So you guys know what I'm talking about. But that was a way for me to make money. I would buy my own shoes. I started buying my own clothes. I started, you know, just doing whatever I wanted to do at that point. But it was never like, oh my God, I want to do this. It was like, I need to do something right now, and I'm too young to go work. So instead of selling candy at school, you know, I sold something else, right? And that was just how I made income. But then it finally got to a point where I realized I looked at my life and I go, hold on, I'm getting kicked out of high school now. That's not looking good on my mother, right? At all, you know, because it's like you're a representation of your parents. So I go, okay, something needs to change. So I ended up changing a few things, stopped doing that. And I just said, you know what, I'm gonna get back to school, and I'm gonna try to finish this thing, and let's see what happens. Well, I ended up graduating from adult school, and we finished up there after school. So after school had finished, then I was stuck, and I said, man, what do I want to do? You know, what do I really want to do? We all know, go to school, get good grades, go get a good job, but I'm not looking into that. I'm still looking at my friends. They're doing what they're doing, and they're making more money. But then I'm looking at my mother and I go, man, she's struggling. So I'm stuck between two worlds right now. I go, man, my friends are making some money doing some stuff, right? Some illegal stuff, but that looks pretty rewarding. My mom's working hard at a job right now, right? I go, I don't know if I want to work at a job. So where I come from, I was stuck in the middle of, I got to make a decision and do something, right? So then I go, man, okay, I finished school at 17, let's say, got my, I don't know what it's called, a adult high school diploma, I guess. I think it's a high school diploma, something, right? And so we finished, and I go, you know what, man, I'm too young. I think I might have to go back and, you know, package a few things and try to make some more money.
Right.
But then what happened was, Alex, so funny, is my mom comes home one day and she goes, hey, this guy at the liquor store needs help. I go, what? She goes, yeah, you can't get a job right now. Like, this guy at the liquor store, he needs help. I go, okay, just go to the liquor store, tell him that you're my son, right? And talk to him. So then I started working for a liquor store under the table. Well, that didn't last long. Then I went to a catering business. That lasted like 2 days. But now I'm old enough to now go find a job. So I start working in a warehouse. And from 18 to 22, I was doing that. But during that time, it's so funny because I heard of Primerica at 18 years old, and I went into an office. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy. He's not too big, you know. His name's Mario Arizon, right? I think pretty sure you guys heard of that guy, right?
Oh,
Right? I right. I actually went to the his office, and it's so crazy because I think at that time he was probably making maybe like 300. I think 300,000 a year at that time. Yeah, I was 18 years old. And I had went in, I seen the hype, I seen the checks, and I signed up. I remember signing up, but I remember not going back. That's what I do remember. So I became this person that would tell people, hey, that's a scam. Don't waste your time. You know, all their cars are rented. Right? I said the most. I would put down America so bad, like so bad. And so I ended up leaving that, right? Never went back to Primerica, well, at least at that time, and just kept working warehouse jobs. Warehouse, right? And finally, here's where the shift happened. I started picking up books. And it was from a friend of mine that introduced me to some other kid who was in a network marketing business, right? And I guess this kid was making money. He introduced me to him. This guy's young, making some money. I meet with him, and he's telling me about reading books and this and that. And I go, hold on, reading books? I think the only book I've ever finished, and I don't even think I finished it, was like To Kill a Mockingbird or something like that. You know, so for me to go and finish a book, that's crazy. I'm not going to read a book. But when I looked at his car, I looked at how young he was. He just seemed like he had it going on. I go, you know what? Maybe picking up a book wouldn't be too bad. And it's so crazy because I tell people this all the time. Like, the books really helped me so much because it taught me about the failure. It taught me about business. The books that he had told me to read, one of them was the one I just mentioned recently, which was The Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Or Eric T. I forgot his name. T. Harv Eker, I believe. Yeah. Right? I'm pretty sure some of you guys have read it. Well, in that book, this guy talks about business. He talks about him starting a business, about him having this money into this, kind of like a GNC, and he ends up losing the business, right? But then his dad would kind of look at him like, man, this guy, you're not doing nothing with your life. So from that story, I got inspired and said, man, do I want to keep working a job? Because in the book, it talks about a job. It talks about working a job and going into business, right? And, you know, sometimes you're going to fail that whole deal. So I start getting this whole idea in my head as I'm an MMA fighter. So that was my dream. Fighting was my dream. That was my passion. That's something I love. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Karate, kickboxing, boxing. My dad was a boxer, right? So I got into fighting early on, which ended up. Sergio? I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I went 5-0, so I think I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, fighting got me in a lot of trouble too, though. I'm not gonna lie. So that got me in some trouble, right? But we went from there, and I hurt my back. So that's what stopped me from fighting. I hurt my back working out. I was 1 week away from my pro debut, and I hurt my back. And from there, I go, man, I need to figure something else out. So that's when I literally just looked at everyone at my job. And I do this today in Primerica. I look at people here. I analyze people. Okay? It's something I do, and it helps me. I learn from other people's mistakes and let's say, you know, failures. And so I started analyzing the manager, the supervisor. I go, hold on. If I stay here, I'm 22 years old. If I stay here, I'm going to end up just like that guy. He doesn't look happy, and he's not driving the car I want to drive. If I stay here, I'm going to end up just like the GM. And that's if I could become a GM, right? He don't say hi to nobody. He walks in, he's pissed off all the time. I go, I don't want to do that. I'm 22 years old. My parents came from Mexico. If they were able to put a roof over my head and able to go work without papers, without a diploma, and make it, let's say, as far as they made it, I'm born here in the States. How am I not going to go make something of myself? What one man can do, another person can do better. There's no way that I can't make something of myself.
Right.
And at that point, I said, you know what? I don't want to work here no more. So I went from working hard to getting really, really lazy. And something I shouldn't have done, right? No matter what, I really believe you should give it your all. And anything you do, I don't care.
Right.
And so I stopped showing up to work Monday, no call, no show. Went back to sleep. Tuesday, no call, no show. Went back to sleep. Wednesday, no call, no show. Went back to sleep. Thursday, no call, no show. Went back to sleep. Friday, my manager calls me. I ignore it. He sends me a text message. He goes, Sergio, can you please do me a favor and just try to be in before 11? I go to work, but at 12. Okay? I show up to work at 12. He calls me to his office. I go, hey, what's up, man? He goes, listen. He goes, what the hell are you thinking? I go, honestly, man, I don't want to work here no more. I go, I'm tired of this place. And it's super irresponsible, right? But that's the mindset I was in. And he goes, Sergio, look, I have to give you your last check. He goes, but I'll tell you this. You're a hard worker. Okay, I don't know what happened this last month. You're a hard worker, though. You've always gotten the job done. If you can't find a job 3 to 6 months from now and you want to come back, I'll hire you. Talk about job security. Yeah. Talk about some job security.
Right.
Well, that right there, when I left, I said, you know what? I'm free now. So now this whole business thing that I had in my head, I got to make this thing become real.
Right.
But that same night, I went out and I blew my whole check at a bar. I'm not going to lie, okay? This is my story. I wake up the next day and now I start getting to work with my creative of what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Long story short, Instagram, okay? Before it is what it is today, everyone's on Instagram now. But before that, one of my friends was posting that she was just traveling, designer this, and that's before I even knew like what Gucci, Louis, all that stuff was, right? So I'm looking at her like, what is she doing? I used to party with her in high school. You know, like, what is she doing? I used to party with her. And so I hit her up, and what ends up happening is we end up talking. Small talk happens. We meet at the Starbucks. She tells me she has businesses. And at that point in my life, I was in a position where I said, you know what? I need to change my surroundings. Everyone I'm around, they're no good for me. They're not doing much for me. Well, I still carry that concept here in Primerica, believe it or not, like I still do. And what I'm saying is everyone that I was comfortable with, I changed. I had to change. When I say I analyze people, I look at, and no offense, okay, but I look at people's habits and people's discipline. So I see when they show up late. I see when they leave early. I see people who don't put numbers up. I see people who aren't recruiting. And I go, there has to be something behind the scenes. Why? You guys, I don't know if you guys heard the saying before, but whatever you do in private gets praised in public. So they must be doing something in private, and I see it getting praised in public, not getting praised, but it's showing in the public. It's showing out there. So if I do what that person does, I'm gonna end up just like that person. If I come in and I sit in the back, well, after getting into Primerica, I'm gonna end up just like them. So that's why I'm saying for everyone on this call is you may have to look at yourself and say, hold on, what are my daily habits looking like? If you look at today, all day today, how many times have you looked at the competition scoreboard? See that? What's the focus? Because behind the scenes, we can't see nothing. I see everything right here. When I get on the phone call with my guys, I can tell, okay, cool, I'm talking to you. When you're in front of me, okay, I can see you. But behind the scenes, when it's closed doors, you know, the question is, what are your thoughts? What are you talking about? What are you doing? Who are you hanging out with? So for myself, coming into this business, after Myra introduces me to Gary, and when I met Gary, I told him, I'm not doing this. This Primerica is the last thing I want to do. You know what I told him? I go, Gary, you guys sell caskets. I don't want to sell caskets. Yeah. And he goes, Sergio, we sell life insurance, first of all. I go, well, same thing, right? Same thing. And he shows me the compensation, and that's when I said, you know what? Okay, it sounds good. I have one last question. If I bring my buddy in, can he make money without recruiting? He goes, yeah, you don't have to recruit. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we don't get paid off recruiting. He has to get licensed and someone has to make a sale for you to get paid. I go, okay, you know what? Let's do it. That's when I hopped in. Wow. That's when I decided to say, you know what? Let's give this thing a shot, because I seen the percentages, the profits, and the commissions that you can make, right?
Right.
So even though I was anti-Primerica, I'm pretty sure you guys have sat with somebody and you show them the plan and they go, oh man, I've never heard it that way. That's deep. Oh my gosh. Right? Yeah. you heard that before. Yeah. So that was me. So I come in here, and my whole thing was, Alex, I'm not gonna lie, I still had bad habits. I had, my discipline was not there. The person I am today, I was not this person at all, at all. I was aggressive, but I wasn't one to talk to people. I wasn't one to go and say, hey, hi, how you doing? Hey, yeah, champ, let's go.
Right.
That wasn't me. I was the guy coming in late every single day for my first year, the whole entire year.
Wow.
I came late and I always sat in the back.
What's that?
I got promoted to district. And after that, I just kind of sat and I was just idle the whole time. And I wanted to win because I'm pretty sure everyone on here wants to win.
Absolutely.
Right? At some point, you have to look at you and what you're doing. You look in that mirror and you have that real self-talk. You're never going to surpass your own self-image. So whatever your self-image is right now, which is literally what you're doing, what you do on a daily basis, that's what you see yourself as. You're never going to surpass that. So if you say, I hope to become a top producer, oh, I hope I make it, oh, I hope, you're never going to do it because your self-image is not even of you actually being sure of yourself. And that's one thing that has to change. So I came in here, Alex, and I'm not going to lie. The reason why I didn't get going so fast, my first year, I made $9,000 my first year. $9,000 in Prime America. In Prime America. $9,000 my first year. Why? Because of me. They say if you got an issue, it's probably you, right? You the issue, right? It's you. That was the problem with me. So when I came in here, right, Kylie's at home, right? She's working her job. She was working harder at her job than I was in Prime America. And that was a slap in the face for me. Because I'm thinking, I go, man, how is this young lady going to work? She's working harder at her job than I'm working in Prime America. And I'm over here asking, man, can I have $20 for gas? Mom, can I have $20 for gas?
Wow. Right?
But then finally, what ended up happening after my first year, I ended up going out to, it was New Year's, 2015, it was New Year's, and I went out and I had a great time. I was broke and I had a great time, by the way. Great time. I didn't spend my money. I was in the VIP section. Yes, go ahead, Alex. What were you going to say?
No, go ahead. I'm picturing all this. As you're talking, I'm picturing a sharp kid working at a warehouse, coming to these meetings, showing up late. We got people in our base shop like that too, man. Always late, always sitting in the back. Ton of potential, but just not living up to it. I can see you partying. I can see you being a fighter. I can see you ready to throw hands at any moment. You know what I'm saying? I can see all this. As you're talking, I'm picturing all of it, man. Crazy. Sorry, keep going, bro.
No, yeah. And that's just what it was. I just was not there, but thank God for the environment. You guys are in an environment right now that's a winning environment, and that's a blessing. And sometimes we take that stuff for granted. Not even sometimes, most of the time. We take the basic stuff is what we'll take for granted. You take it for granted until it's not there no more. You take it for granted until you can't go all come together in an office. Now you want to go to the office. You see that? You take everything for granted once it's stripped away from you. And that's exactly what had happened to me is I just got tired of losing. What I realized is I go, man, the only way that this is going to change is I have to make that change. So I remember kind of backtracking a little bit. Sorry if I'm all over the place, but I remember Gary, and thank God for the leadership. Just me having a great relationship, you guys, with my RVP, with my SNSD, Gary. I had a great relationship with my coach. So even though I showed up late, I was undisciplined. I had a great relationship. I still showed up. I showed up late, but I showed up. Me and G2, we formed a bond. He's like my brother from another mother now. Like, that's literally what it is. And because of that, Gary would hold me accountable to the highest level, which is so crazy. I would show up late, and I would remember walking into the office, and I already know, man, this is so bad. I'm not even running to the door. I'm just walking in casually, like, okay, cool. And the whole entire office, everyone in the office would turn around and say, leadership. That happened for a whole year. But that's the accountability. And I had an option, by the way, because remember, my personalities were aggressive. I'm over here mad dogging people, right? Like, I'm just angry at the world for no reason. For no reason, I was mad at the world. I thought everyone was against me. That was my own issue I had going on internally, right?
Right.
And I go, man, this is some BS, right? But then once I started learning, after this one incident with Gary, I walked in late and the same thing happened. I come in with the V-neck and Gary's just suited and booted all the time. I came in with the V-neck, Alex, and this man put me on blast in front of everybody again. But I was so mad and I showed it. I'm crunching my jaws, right? Clenching my jaws. I'm just like so pissed off.
What did he say?
What he had said, he goes, how are you going to walk in late casually and with the V-neck? You got your team here, Sergio. Be a leader. This is in front of everybody. And then Gary, he's standing up and he sees me. He can see I'm getting mad. You can tell. The whole office could tell. Like whoever was it was a private kind of training early morning. So whoever was there, they could tell like, oh man, the energy was off. And he's looking at me. He goes, what? He goes, you think you're a man because you want to hit somebody? You think you're a man because you want to hit somebody? That doesn't make you a man. He goes, you think this makes you a man? He goes, that doesn't make you a man. This makes you a man. This makes you a man. This makes you strong. You walking around trying to hit the next person, that doesn't mean you're nothing. That means you are not in control. And I don't know why, but I remember saying, I grew up with this.
Right.
I grew up, this is strong. This is brave. See that? That's how I grew up.
Right.
And so that happened. Fast forward. End of the year comes. I go out, I have a great time for New Year's. I wake up with a hangover. And I remember my head's pounding and I'm looking up at the ceiling. And I go, man, I'm here, I'm broke. My mom's yelling at me. I was young, right? 22, 23 years old. I have no money in my bank account. What am I doing? People say you can't change. Cold turkey, that's a lie. You could. Because from one day to the next, I cut all ties. And Think and Grow Rich, it talks about burning all bridges. This warrior goes to this island, right? And I don't know if you guys have read this book. I'm pretty sure you guys have. I don't know if you remember the story. This warrior goes to this island, and they're going up against his army. Well, this is a bigger army. Not thousands of soldiers, let's say. There's this one warrior, he's outnumbered. He says, you know what, guys? We got to burn all ships. Let's burn all the ships. Burn everything down right now. So everyone goes and they burn everything down. So just picture, just fire everywhere. And his crew is looking at him. His team is looking at him. And he goes, listen, we're going to go and fight. The reason why we burned the ships, why I had you guys burn the ships down, is because there's no retreating. There's no going back. Okay, you're not going to go back. The only way you're going to get back to your wives, your kids, your family is if you make it through this war. We're outnumbered. We know that. We don't got a lot of people on our side. We know that. Well, there's no going back now. You go back, a shark is going to eat you. So one way or the other, hey, I'd rather take my chances fighting this army. And they go to war, and guess what? They ended up becoming victorious. They actually won that war. So some people passed away. It is what it is, right? That's what war is. Some people passed away. Some people didn't make it. But the ones that did were able to tell that story and go back to their families. So I took that story and I related it to me, because behind my head, Alex, I had a plan B still. In the back of my head, I said, if this does not work out, I'm going to go back to fighting. My back feels way better. It's healed, I'm going to go back to fighting. So finally, January 2016 is when I made that shift. January 2016 is when I made that shift, guys. And I want to show you something real quick. Let me go ahead and share my screen really fast. Yeah. I want to show you guys this real quick. So this is, I don't have too much of a slideshow, but this is just something, okay? So that, of course, that's me and Kylee, but here's what I want to show you. So my license hit November 2014. Okay, that's when my license hit, November 2014. We started qualifying for RVP March 2016. But remember, I went out 2015, got drunk. I'm not going to lie, got drunk, had a hangover. I woke up and I said, I want change. What story did I tell about the warrior burning the ships? I had to burn all my bridges. I had to cut ties, and I went all in. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to hang out with this person, that person, because I had all these outside friends that I would hang out with. And I realized, Alex, I go, ball players hang around with ball players. Barbers hang around with barbers. See that? Drug dealers hang around with drug dealers. I'm in Primerica, and I'm not even hanging out with people in Primerica. Even if I go party, it's not even with people in Primerica. Think about that. So I said, you know what, man? My friends are not going nowhere. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to miss some people. And I made it so strict on myself, Alex. And this may not be for everybody, but this is how bad I want to change. This is how bad I needed to win. Some of you guys kind of want it. I really needed it more than anything. I was hungry. I was starving. To this day, I'm starving for success still. I'm not comfortable. We're barely getting started. I'm so afraid to lose it that it keeps me on my toes. So January 2016, I wrote this down. We did $1,600 in premium by 6 recruits. I'm big on recruiting. Those 6 recruits were personal directs. So you may think, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, just wait. So then February, we end up doing 12,000. And by the way, Vivian Diaz was in my base shop. So if I did 1,600 in premium, what did Vivian do? Nothing. See that? Because why? I'm the captain of the ship. I'm leading the organization, but she's seeing monkey see, monkey do. So what is she seeing? I brought Vivian in. She's seeing what? Well, Sergio's partying. Sergio's doing this. Sergio's doing that. I'm going to do the same thing. It's so crazy. So once I decided, I made a decision and I changed, I remember going out prospecting, guys. Prospecting face-to-face. I know we don't do that no more. Maybe you guys don't. I prospected face-to-face. I got 30 numbers that Saturday. 30 numbers, personal, just going out prospecting all alone. I just had a point to prove. I had a chip on my shoulder. Like I said, I want to change. I want to change. I went out alone. I remember telling Kylee, this is so uncomfortable. Man, I'm sweating talking to people. I'm nervous. That was me.
Wow.
And so February, we did 12,000 by 13. March, we did 14,000 by 25. April, I started qualifying for RVP.
Nice.
So April, we did 27,000 by 39, and we never fell below that. So as it says right here, we started qualifying for RVP. I put March, but it's actually April. April. Sorry about that. April 2016, doing over 20,000 by 20 recruits. Our last month in the base, we broke 60,000 by 73. So that's how we went RVP. We left behind a replacement leg, which was averaging 40,000 by 50. And I left behind 40 codes, which is, as you guys know, Vivian Diaz, right? We earned our 50K watch and crossed over 100,000 in 2017. We took #1 for personal recruits at MIT, and we got into the top 10 for premium at MIT as well.
Wow.
And then we just earned our second diamond March of this year. And currently, like how you said earlier, Alex, the base shop is averaging 50,000 by 70 recruits.
Wow.
So question for you guys, question for everyone on this call right now. Me burning all ships, me burning all bridges, me saying there's no plan B, me planting my flag, me saying I'm not going to go hang out with my homeboys no more. I'm not going to go party. I said, you know what? I'm okay. I became okay missing birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. I became okay getting ridiculed by everyone and anyone who didn't have what I wanted. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to find a way to get this thing going. And because I made that decision to stop BSing with my life, guess what? I look back today and I trip myself out because I go, man, what if I would have never burned those ships? What if I would have never had that little reality check? What if I would have never made that change? And we're at 200,000 now. My goal has always been by 30. I don't know why by 30 make $1 million. So who knows? We might start jumping diamonds. Who knows, right? But that's always been my goal. And I don't know why life plans out the way it does. God doesn't make mistakes. Everything happens on purpose.
Right.
But man, when I say burn bridges, when I say go all in, I mean that because that's what helped me change my life. I look back at all my friends, which you guys can too. And I didn't miss nothing. I missed nothing. I look back, I look at my mom, I look at my sisters, I look at just my immediate family, right? The woman that was crying because she had no job, because she had just got laid off. I look at her and I go, thank God, right? Thank God I was able to get this far while she's alive. But I remember having this talk with myself in my car. I remember having this talk and saying, man, Sergio, would you be okay? And this is crazy, right? Would you be okay with your mom passing away and you miss her birthday, chasing this dream? Would you be okay you not seeing her on Mother's Day and you're over here just at the office? You don't even have an appointment. You just at the office because you're giving it all you got because you know you're not that good at this. but you believe that you can get good at this.
Mm.
And I remember having that conversation. I said, yeah, I'm good. Let's do it. I'm doing nothing bad. I'm chasing a dream. Where my family comes from is nothing as you heard, right? Kylee, her family got evicted. I now have Kylee looking at every action I do, every move I make. She's looking at me for guidance. So what the only thing I can do now is say, you know what? I may be have messed up in the past, but what's that saying? Never let your past hold your future hostage.
Right.
Right? You knew me in 2015, December, New Year's Eve. Well, January 1st, we a brand new person. Let me do this real quick. How are you? My name is Sergio. Nice to meet you. I'm Sergio Castanon 2.0, baby. Nice to meet you. Just like that in a heartbeat.
Like literally overnight.
Literally overnight. We made that shift. And what ended up happening is I went from showing up late to showing up early. I just looked at what the winners did. And I said, you know what? I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to be super coachable. I'm going to do everything my coach tells me to do. Y'all should write that. I'm going to do everything my coach tells me to do. I'm not going to ask why. I'm not going to butt, because we all have ideas in this creative working, right? If I'm not where I want to be, I need to humble myself and put my ego down and put my pride aside. And I'm gonna listen to what these winners are saying. So I would never show up suited and booted. I said, you know what? I'm going to get uncomfortable. I'm going to show up suited and booted every single day. I do not care. And that's what ended up happening. I went from the back to sitting in the front. I tried my best. I went from literally, I'm a competitive person, but I had stopped competing. So I said, you know what? I'm going to compete and I'm going to go after that number one. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And within 90 days of me changing all my perspective, just changing my perspective and my view on Primerica and what I can get here. It was just a ripple effect, a domino, pop, 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 pop. And the whole team started picking up. Then we started getting recognized. Then we started winning the competitions and incentives to dinner, to this, to that. And then we started traveling a little bit. Then we won our first trip. So then what ended up happening is the reward that we were getting. I go, man, I like this. Hold on. I'm not going to talk to my friends for a little longer. I'm going to keep working a little longer. Right. I'm going to stay focused a little longer. And I would look and I would see people and I go, okay, don't do that. Why? He came late. Don't do that, Sergio. Don't fall back. Look at them. Look, they're out partying and they're having fun, and that's cool. But Sergio, listen, if you do what's hard now, later will be easy. If you do what's easy now, later is going to be hard. Right. So just keep doing what's hard now. Keep it to the basics. Stay close to your coach. Sometimes, guys, I would get this urge. I don't know why. I just want to go out. And I'd pick up the phone, call my coach. I gotta intercept the devil, right? I'd be like, hey, coach, what are you doing? Is there any way I can stop by your house real quick? Hey, coach, what do you think I should do right now? Man, you know what? I think, you know what? I'm going to call a conference call with my team. And I'd find ways to intercept that other thought so I wouldn't drift. You follow me?
Yeah.
And so that's just, that's my story on how I started and just how everything shifted for us. And so to this day right now, anytime I feel like, man, this thing, like I feel stuck, I just go back to the basics and I say, you know what? I'm going to eat, sleep, and breathe Primerica. I already do, but I'm going to just stay in the office. I'm going to do what other people aren't doing. Everyone's on Zoom. I'm going to get my butt to the office. I'm going to tell my team, and whoever wants to show up will show up, and we're going to figure something out. We're going to figure something out. And one of my toughest times, I became an RVP and we didn't know how to handle our business. Let's just say that. Okay. And our pay was not where it should be. Okay. We weren't getting paid what we should have been getting paid. Let's just say that. And there's something called, these penalty things. Right. And so I remember, I had got to this point and I go, what is going on? And this was August of 2019. So it wasn't too long ago. I have a picture. I really wish I would have took more time and made a slide. I need to, right? But I have a picture and it's negative $19 in my bank account as an RVP. I know people don't want to hear that, right? But this is something no one has to worry about. And that's something I tell my team. I'm very transparent. And I say, I got there because I got there. I messed up. I don't point fingers. I take responsibility. A leader takes responsibility. A leader takes responsibility. When you point a finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. So I said, it's my fault, no one's fault. And in the beginning, you have a victim mentality. So you start thinking, well, if they would have taught me this, if they would have said this and showed me this and done this, you start thinking all kinds of stuff, right? I go, at the end of the day, I'm in business for myself. I'm not by myself, but I'm in business for myself. When I take that plaque, I take that plaque. When I get that bonus, I get that bonus. So I remember sitting in my car and I go, there's no way I'm going back to this. How? Like, how did I get to negative in my bank account? She's freaking using her credit card for gas because she don't want to ask me for money because she know we don't got it. This is 2019, y'all. This wasn't too long ago.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here and I go, what is going on, man? There's no way. Like, I'm over here thinking, like, God, are you kidding me? Like, really, right now? Man, you can't let me celebrate a little longer? Let me have some more fun, right? Put some more money in my bank account. Now, I remember texting Gary, and this was, it cut to my pride. It's just like, man, it cut me so bad. And I remember I had typed a message. I said, Gary, I don't know how I'm saying this. I don't even know how the hell to tell you this. I can't pay rent. I'm negative in my bank account. Okay? And I don't know what to do. I apologize. And I remember typing this whole message up, and I didn't press send. I just held it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I'm stressing out. I'm just like, it's just all bad, right? And I go, man, this is what I did not want to happen. And that was the time we're working on fixing everything. That was the time I was working on fixing everything. I had a choice, y'all. We all have a choice. You gonna let a little hard time, a little challenge stop you? No. I sent the message, and thank God for the leadership. You know, he sent one back, and it wasn't like, oh my God, get out the office, right? I even told her, I go, Gary, I don't care. I'll work from my car. I'll work at a Starbucks. I won't go to the office. I was just so embarrassed.
Right.
So embarrassed.
What did he say, Sergio?
He has said, Sergio, don't worry about it, champ. You're going to be big. Keep on going. Don't let this stop you. You're going to fix it. You're going to get out of the situation. And it was just some more stuff as well that had to do with the whole rant thing, right? But in other words, like, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But my thing was, I've never done it. As an RVP, I went RVP 2017. You know? And so up until that point, I've always found a way. My business always comes first. My business, something I told Kylee, I go, babe, listen, the business comes first. The business, we cannot kill the goose that lays the golden egg. We got to feed the goose. And anything we do, if we have to make a decision, do we pay the car payment or do we pay the office? We pay in the office. The car, hey, they could chase us around. I know what it is to be broke. You can call them and say, this is a tip, by the way. This is a broke tip, okay? You could say, hey, can you guys actually add that payment to next month? Because I'm kind of struggling right now. And let's do it. They did it to my phone bill, to everything. So I go, oh, you know what? I could get away for a month.
Yeah. Those are hacks right there.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a tough time, and there's more, right? But that was one that I was looking at my notes, because I have these notes and I have, you know, these things I would write to myself, and I would write these notes at my darkest times, my lowest times. Talk about like the whole depression, anxiety thing, right? I've been there, I've done that, you know, going through here, you know, because I started questioning myself. I started asking myself, like, is this really for me? Can I really do this? And maybe, you know, maybe you're not there, and I hope you never have to get there, right? But I did that. But because of one of those hard times, but then I would go back, Alex, and I would indulge in these books and self-development. I would just play this stuff, like just no music, like just go crazy, because I needed to hear something. I needed something to click. So when I would read these books and listen to this stuff, it would snap for me. And I go, well, Sergio, hold on. They always say after a hard time, right before you're thinking about quitting or something, there's a blessing around the corner. When people say attitude is everything, attitude is not everything when everything's going good. Attitude is literally everything in that dark time. That's when attitude is everything. That's when you practice what is being preached from the stage. You hear this talk, you hear this, everything I'm saying, you're taking notes. Some of you are in a good place right now, and you'll say, oh, man, I like this. Some of you are not in, let's say, a great place, but it's just you. Right now is the time you practice it. When stuff is not going your way, you practice what you've been taking notes on.
Right.
You practice that stuff. And you stay true to the business because that's a decision you made. You know this pays off. You know it works. And just to think in March, think about this, August 2019, we're negative $19 in my bank account. And it's two of us. It's not one, it's two people. Okay, negative 19. If I'm negative, what do you think Kylee is? She's probably negative 1,000, to be honest with you.
Right.
And now January, 20,000 in pay. February, 25,000 in pay. March, 20,000 in pay. So we've been averaging 20,000 a month in pay. But what if that season, because it's a season, what if in that season I would have said, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel. This isn't for me. But God don't make mistakes. There's challenges and there's things that are put in place to see if you're ready for the next blessing.
Wow.
So if you can't handle the... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, and this was just 2 years ago. This isn't like it was 5-7 years ago. This is 2019.
Yeah.
And you look at your income now. That's amazing, man. How quickly things can change, huh?
Yeah. So,
wow.
I mean, that's what I got, Alex. I hope I shed some value. Didn't mean to take too much time, right?
No, bro, you're flowing, man. You're Eminem right now, bro. You're right. We could see the Eminem in you right now, man. Hey, listen, bro. You did amazing, man. You've got an incredible story. I want our guys to ask some questions. If you're open to that, let's have a quick Q&A session. Who would like to go first? Unmute yourselves and ask away.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Really quick. Thank you so much for your time. If Kylie's still there, thank you so much, Kylee. My question would be, what would you say to a brand new person? You know those brand new person frustrations where they're just learning how to prospect, learning how to use IG, and aren't getting the results that they want. What's your biggest advice right there?
Yeah, my biggest advice would be, and something that helped me out, when I wasn't getting no results or nothing, it's plug into the RVP, the upline. Plug into the leadership is my biggest thing. And I say that because remember, we see things from our perspective. So as you level up in leadership and in life and income and everything, right, you start viewing things from a different perspective. So right now just joined the business. You're having a tough time. People are telling you no, your perspective is brand new. So you come in with a certain perspective and you can't see past the no. You can't see past I don't know what to do on Instagram. One of the biggest things that helped me is I said, you know what? I need to stop caring. And that feeling I get when I do something uncomfortable, I got to stay in that feeling and I got to find a way to fall in love with that feeling. And I've done the 90-day madman cycles at those times, by the way, and I seeked information. During those times when you're getting the no's and all that stuff, but by the way, take it as a test. It's a test. Entrepreneurs and business owners, the reason why they become successful, the ones that make it, right? The ones that make it is because they find solutions for every problem that they have. So you just not getting a recruit or let's say doing Instagram or prospecting, having issues with that, that's just a problem. So instead of focusing on the problem, let's start focusing on a solution. Let's call coach. Let's talk to the leadership. Let's plug in more. Let's not disconnect and then get advice from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I had a quick question.
Sergio, what's up, man? How you doing? My name is Josh. It's a pleasure, bro. Bro, phenomenal, bro. I freaking love it. Love the story. Love the transparency. And you guys are obviously killing it. So very excited and grateful for your time, bro. I wanted to ask you, dude. I'm listening to you, and I'm just concluding. Man, all of his explosions came from internal conversations he had with himself. When all the stories you mentioned, but when you were showing up prior to that, burning all your ships and burning everything out, and you're showing up late, and you were showing up with your V-neck, and you were showing up, not really caring about anything. What do you think made you keep on showing up? Like, why did you keep showing up? Because I really think it was a combination of everything: the books, Gary's phone calls, the meetings. I mean, everything, right? But I just feel like had you not shown up, maybe you wouldn't have been able to have those internal conversations. So like, what made you keep showing up despite that you weren't really on the edge?
Yeah, that's a great question. That was a really, really great question. What made me show up is because I got into a point where I looked at everything I've done, and I realized I never committed. I had a commitment issue. See that? So for me, not only did I have, the story of my mother and that whole deal, right? And I'm seeing all this success here in Primerica. So the belief is there, like, that it can happen. But I started questioning myself. But what helped me was I can't quit. My dad told me not to do this. My mom told me not to do this. My dad said, that's a waste of your time. That's not your personality. You're a fighter. So I had a big chip on my shoulder. So there's a few things, but having a chip on my shoulder of wanting to prove people wrong, and me selling this dream, selling this vision, that's what helped me. And then also at the same time saying, hold on, I can't just retreat. I can't quit. Why? Because I stop everything I do. Everything I've done, school, just anything. I've never finished. I always stop. So I'm just going to keep showing up. It just became a routine for me. I'm going to show up. I was physically there in the meetings, but mentally I wasn't there. So I was just showing up like a zombie. And I heard this saying, like, even if you're, what is it? Like, what is it? It's like, they say something about like tie a knot around your hand and hang on for life. If you're in those stages, right, where you're kind of doubting yourself, questioning yourself, you're literally thinking about quitting and stuff. I'm not going to lie, I've thought about that. It sounds crazy, but I have. And that's literally what it was. I was just hanging on. And it clicked.
Wow. That's awesome, bro. Hey, thank you so much, Sergio. I mean, phenomenal. You and Kylee, you guys are badass, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yasmin, you had a question?
Yes, Coach, I did. Hey, Sergio and Kylee, thank you so much for your time. My name is Yasmin. I had a quick question for you. This is for, because we have a lot of new people on here. So you talked a lot about daily habits. I wanted to ask if you can briefly talk about what are some crucial daily habits that you really encourage a new person or a new recruit, something to really learn and obtain.
Right. Okay. So, so something that I've been doing this for some time now, and even for myself today, like I still keep true to that today, to what I'm about to tell you, is when I wake up, guys, this is just like, I guess you could say like a routine, right? Like, what do you do with your routine, right? Every time I wake up and I'm getting ready, anything, me and Kylee now do it. If I'm not doing it, she puts it on, I turn my music down. As I'm getting up ready for my day, I always throw on some type of self-development. It may sound so cliche, right? But the first thing I really try to listen to is something that's going to help me think different. Something that's going to help me think different. And for a brand new recruit in here, something that I love, guys, that fires me up today is competition. So one of the first things I do is I look at the scoreboard. I look at my group chat and I look at, what's going on. And I started doing that when I made that shift, by the way, is when everything changed because my focus changed. So I started looking at what the team goal is. Where's our team at right now? What are we doing? What do I have going on today? So I looked at my schedule and I had to make sure, man, I have nothing today. I got to find a way to get something. So what I do to this day, I'll wake up and I have leaders, right? So I call my leaders. Hey, what's up? Rise and grind, baby. What we got going on today? We got something called the time tree. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but everyone books appointments, and I see how many appointments we have throughout the day. And I see what leaders have appointments, KTs, recruits, everything. So sometimes I'll spot check my people. So, and ask them like, hey, I noticed you don't have nothing. Like, what's going on? How can I help you? So if I'm a brand new recruit though, coming in here, trying to create some type of discipline and some type of habit. Because remember, the motivation is what's going to get you going. The discipline keeps you going. But you got to find a way to create that discipline. And that's the hard part, because the discipline is something new for a lot of us. For a lot of us, it's new. This is new. This talk is brand new. So to create the daily discipline, It's literally you getting your brain and saying, okay, I got to shift a few things. I'm used to waking up doing this. You maybe want to shift your routine a little bit. During the day, I go home one way. Like I do this to this day. It's so funny, Alex. I'll leave the office tonight. Let's say 1, 2 in the morning, right? I'll leave like 2 in the morning. When I head home, I can go straight down and then make a right on some street. But sometimes I'll say, you know what? Instead of coming out my office making a left, I'm going to go the long way today. I'm going to catch the freeway today to change up my routine, to change up, my thinking process. So when you're new in this business, you have a type of process. You process things one way. So coming in here, you're going to transition and you're changing you're having a paradigm shift, right? You're changing your whole thought process. So the only way to keep that going is by being conscious of your thoughts every single day and making sure consciously you know what's going on. True or not true, when you're consciously looking for something, you find it. When you focus on finding something, you find a way. I say this because everyone relates. As for my guys and for my women, you're looking for a guy, you find a guy. May not be the right one, but you find something. for my guys, you're looking for a woman, you find a woman. May not be the right one, but you find it. So whatever you focus on is going to grow. So if you're looking to create that discipline, that routine, focus on it. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
Big. Next question.
Hi.
Sergio, this is my son, Nathaniel. He wants to say hi real quick.
Hey. What's up, Nathaniel?
Hi, thank you for your time for podcast. RVP, thank you for the five for the tandem. Whatever my what did you say? I petty a part of the doing RVP. What did I do? What like after 20 the people get by with you? What did you say every day?
I'll translate in a
They
second.
make you call.
As an RVP, I heard RVP, and do you still make calls, Sergio?
Oh my gosh. Heck yes, I do. We were everywhere I go, guys. Right now I'm on the hunt. Like I'm looking for more right now. Right now I'm 8 wide. Yeah, I'm 8 wide right now. So 8 wide that are showing up, that can write, that whole deal. I'm 8 wide right now. My whole thing is the only way that I can really shift my business, because my goal is to build a $100,000 base shop. I need to, and my goal is to break 100,000 this month, right? So the only way when I feel that like the energy is down, kind of like, man, no one's writing, we didn't write today, or we only had like a $2,000 day, like we should have had a $10,000 day, is I have to lead my team, So it's funny because, and I know this is kind of going off topic a little bit, but to answer your question, yes, I make calls. I make calls no matter what. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because as my team here, I have leaders, they're fighting to go RVP. I got a whole leg lined up right now. Like they got a replacement. I mean, we got a lot of good things going on right now. And so what I want to do right now is throw more wood to that fire. So the mojo, the energy's there. What I'm looking for is now another new direct couple, new direct person that's just fired up, that I can throw in the system. So that's why I continue to make these calls. And yesterday we went out to eat, and I'm on the hunt. Like I said, consciously, I'm like, I want to find another good person. I want to find another good person, someone with some good traits, right? So I think like IBM, guys, the founder of IBM said this. Before he created IBM, he had a picture of what he wanted. He had a picture of how he wanted his employees to look. He had a picture of how he wanted his business to look, of how he wanted everyone to be dressed. So right here, right now, in the spot that I'm in, I have a clear, concise picture of what I want my next direct to look like. So now I'm on the hunt. So I got a number yesterday, called them, booked the recruiting appointment for tomorrow.
Nice.
See, that's I'm making calls to this day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next question, guys. Who's next? Let's go.
I don't think we got no more.
I have a question.
Acting shy.
I have a question. So my name is Lisa, my husband, Bob. We are in Josh San Diego's office for junior leader. And so you had talked a little bit about you're still getting numbers and all that. And so when you have someone, like you said, I heard you say that you get 30 numbers, you know, but do you do that on a constant, like, are you getting 30 numbers every day now that you're at where you're at now? Like, what does your day schedule look like?
Big.
Yeah, that's a good question. The answer, I'm not gonna say that I'm consistently getting, like, let's say 5-10 numbers a day, because what ends up happening too is that I end up running a lot of appointments from my base as well. You know, so through that though, I gotta juggle everything. So I'm juggling, okay, running with my base, still literally with my leaders. I'll talk, they'll sign the sale, or I'll pick up a new recruit. You know, they know when to use me and stuff. So a lot of the times, even right now, I'm helping the base out, running them. I still got I'm training probably maybe 7 people right now that are not licensed, that are under my new directs right now. So because of that, what's cool about this business is that's why I focus on recruiting a lot for myself, is because the recruiting is advertisement. Guys, remember that. And any business that you run, anything that you're doing, you have a marketing department. So for Primerica, I look at the recruits as that's my marketing department. So if I get a new person, that's a whole new market. See that? So if I have, let's say, Kylee, my goal is to get Kylee right away. My goal is I want to get her in the field right away fighting for her promotion, but I'm really looking for 3 people real fast. Because as you guys know, that's the A.O. Williams way, right? Recruit 3 who get 3, grow by the multiples. So I want to keep it to that, keep it simple. The reason why we did 93 recruits is not because Sergio did 30 directs. It's because what? The 3 who get 3, right? And you keep on running that system. So because of that, that kind of keeps me away from having to, let's say, oh man, I gotta, get 5 numbers a day. I can focus on it, but when I have somebody that's a fireball, I'm running with them. Once I get them going, I'm thinking I need to get somebody else. Why? Because this fireball can go out really fast if I don't do this right.
Right.
But I don't constantly every day get 5 numbers a day. But I'd have to say I'm all constantly thinking I need to get another number. Man, I want to get another person. Man, I need. So that's constantly on my mind.
Thank you so much, man. It's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Next. Anybody else? Don't be shy. This is your
Sergio,
shot.
I got another question for you, bro. I got another question.
Yeah.
Hey, so I mean, obviously you're a recruiting machine, bro, and I know that, I'm listening to you, and I know you run a lot of appointments for your team and whatnot. I mean, how many recruits would you say you pick up, whether they're direct or team, on a monthly basis?
Man, on a monthly basis, I'd have to say around a good solid, probably like 20, 25, 30.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're a machine at that, bro. When you're doing your recruiting appointment, what do you feel is your edge? Like, I mean, obviously it's not the presentation that sells, right? Like, what's the selling point when you're doing a recruiting appointment? Like, what is it? What's the message you want to transmit?
Yeah. My biggest thing is, as you guys had heard this or have heard this, is your story is all you got, right? So your story is everything. It doesn't mean you go into detail like how I did right now with you guys, right? That's very into detail. But your story is everything. But the biggest thing that I realize is a lot of people get comfortable with people that they can relate to. We can't relate to everybody, and I know that. But if I can find a way to touch your heart, I got you. If I can touch that heart of yours, I got you. I don't even need a presentation. See that? Right. If I get you to fall in love with me because I touched you, because I found more than just why you'd want to do this business. You're telling me this happens sometimes. I'll be doing a recruiting presentation. Some people is wham, bam, thank you, man. We're good. That's it. Quick. Some people we have a lengthier conversation, and I really get to know the person. Because I can just look at people as numbers. Even though it's a numbers game, you're a real person. Man, you're a human being. You're an actual person. And if I can get you to see what I see, you're going to change your life. And that's 100% what I believe. So me talking to you, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you questions, like, what are you going after? What is it that you want, man? Question. You want to be a nurse. Why do you want to be a nurse? What got you into that? Because, and I try to relate and I try to get them to throw it out, which is, man, you know what? I don't even know why I want to be a nurse. I don't even know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And so sometimes I'll get a real solid, good recruit because of that conversation right there, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I could get people to open up big time.
That's badass, dude. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you, man.
Sergio, we have 2 questions here that somebody typed in on the, I don't know, the Q&A button or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think the chat, right? Or
yeah, it says, did you ever have family members or friends constantly doubt you? And if you did, how did you deal with it?
Oh, yeah. I remember one time, Alex, you guys, my sister, I was laying on the floor, right? I was like just contemplating my whole life, like just what am I doing? And I remember I was laying on the floor looking up at the ceiling and my sister comes over me. She hates when I tell this story, right? But this is weird. This is why you got to prove people wrong sometimes. You got to have that little, that I just want to prove everyone wrong, right? She looks over me and she goes, can you stop asking mom for money? She don't got money. Maybe you should go get a real job. And she's nothing but like 16, 17 years old. Yeah, 16 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, guys, I've had so many people doubt me, question me, everything. And one thing I always did is I just sell the heck out of the vision. If there's one thing that everybody needs to learn how to do, it's how do you sell your vision? People buy into that vision that you have. Can you paint a picture?
Right.
Can you paint a picture of what it's going to look like? And once you get out the mess, once you make it, what is life going to look like? What are you going after?
Right.
If there's one thing that I've realized is, as let's say, becoming a leader, right? The goal is to become that. It's good leaders really know how to sell a really freaking good vision. They just know how to paint a picture. And some of us, we don't have the vision quite, let's say, dialed in right now. But through your process, through your journey, you find out what that vision is, and you start selling the heck out of it. And you get one person to follow you, and then you look back and you go, dang, this thing's really working out. When you learn how to sell that vision, it's like that little gift of gab is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're at or what you got, people are going to follow you. They're going to want to tell you. And before you know it, everyone who used to doubt you, they're going to start praising you. They're going to start congratulating you.
Right.
See that? So, yeah.
Awesome. And there was another question, but you just touched on it. It says, what's the mentality or the vision you sell? What do you have your team on to think bigger? You just touched on that. That was perfect. Somebody else over here on this other chat says, do you and Kylee have specific roles? How do you run, your partnership?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. As you guys know, right, as you guys kind of seen right now, right, I'm like more so the vocal one. One thing I do love to do is challenge. I do challenge her. My goal is to help her grow and whatever she feels comfortable with, But when it comes to our roles, we both know our roles. She's going to be behind the scenes a little bit more, and the cool thing is that we don't step on each other's toes. Sometimes it happens. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it happens. It's going to happen, right? It's just how it is. But we do know each other's roles. She knows, hey, you know what? My man's going to be out there in the field. He's going to be getting it. He's going to be doing his thing. So she knows too, like, hey, let's say she'll handle my back office and she helps me with that, right? The whole base shop, with the whole back office and playing that role and talking to the team. Just before this meeting, one of our girls was in here talking to her one-on-one. That's her role. I step out the office like, hey, I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. I'm gonna come over here, so we know our roles and we just really work on, let's not step on each other's roles. I trust you, you trust me. I got you, you got me.
Big.
Make this thing work.
Hey, Alex, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Sergio. My name's Frank Gardullo. My wife and I, Shauna, are regional leaders under Alex. And thank you for sharing your story. I can relate to a lot of what you said. And I have 2 specific questions, one personal and one about business.
All right, let's do it.
So the one is, when you got hurt, if you didn't get hurt before your last MMA fight, do you think you'd be in Primerica today?
What you got to do that for?
No, I'm just curious to hear what you were going to say.
Right. I'm just playing. That's a tough one. It's a tough one, but I would really have to stick with. I really believe I would, to be honest with you. I do believe let's say I would have took the fight. I would have fought, but I really believe I would have. At the end of the day, I would have stayed in Primerica, to be honest with you. And that's just me being very transparent because of you got to know the fighting game how it is, and it's very competitive. And it's like without that injury, no matter what, my knees are still messed up right now. I mean, it goes on, and the one thing that I think my mom did this, she messed me up because she would always tell me, Sergio, what if you get in your head a lot? What if something happens? So it's like I'm literally going to war in this cave, and I'm over here thinking, damn, what if this is that guy? And it's just like, so that would play in my head. But at the day, I knew fighting for me was like this, a way to get the money, to get the capital, because I knew I was good at it. I guess you could say I had like this warrior spirit in a sense, I would work my butt off, guys. Like I'm talking about nonstop. Like on my lunch break, I'd go run. I wouldn't eat on my lunch break. And that's when I was working. I was working, going to school, and I was an MMA fighter. So I would go to school after work, right? Have my gym clothes in my car. I would go travel 35 minutes away from school. Then I would train. After training, I would stay an extra 2 hours. I'd go home, eat, and then go to 24-hour fitness. I was obsessed. But because I knew that was my way out to get the money. I always knew once I have the money, fighting is not a long, how can I say, it's a young man's sport. It's a young person's sport. You see that?
Absolutely.
So in the back of my head, I know I need to do something with the money I get. So the goal was always build a business, something.
Awesome. So my second question is, you're a great recruiter, and we tried it, and Alex has taught us to be recruiters, and we try to do a good job at recruiting. My development is we need to do better at premium. My team alone, we sometimes average about 40 recruits a month, and our premium hovers around 20,000. And you got any tips, any suggestions on how we can get better?
Yeah, that's so funny. That's that's my situation right now, actually, is we recruit a lot of people, okay? And the frustrating part is that part right there is how the heck are we at 100 recruits? Why are we not at 100,000? Like, what is going on? Or 200,000, right? I think that's the most frustrating thing ever. But I would have to say I love it. I love it. When I went RVP, guys, I left Vivian Diaz's replacement, right? She's 40 clubs under her. When after that, I had 6 people. I remember I did like a little team conference call just to see what I got. And I already kind of knew. I had 6 people on my call. 6 people. I'm starting all over from scratch, okay? Exhausted my market already. 6 people. 1, I sold the heck out of the vision. That fired me up. We got 6 people. One day, this is how you do it. One day we're going to have 60. I know not everyone on this call is going to make it. I know some of you guys are discouraged already. But I promise you, we stick to this thing, I'm going to make sure the next call we have, we got 30 people. So I sold that, right? Cool, that's the vision. I'm selling that. So what ends up happening is I talk to my coach. I go, man, I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to work hard. I don't want to go backwards. My team's name is called The Examples because my goal is to be an example of someone young, go out RVP. They don't go backwards. It doesn't matter what the scenario is. I make money. I get my ring, right? I inspire the hierarchy, right? So what my coach had told me, me and G2 actually, he said, Sergio, listen, man. He goes, recruit the world. What do you mean? He goes, I'm telling you, recruit the world. I would rather have you at 100 recruits and 0 in premium than 100,000 and 0 recruits.
Bingo.
Keep focusing on recruiting and everything else will follow. That's exactly what I did. That's how I got #1 personal recruiter at MIT for new RVPs. Was literally I was averaging about six directs for a year straight. Averaging 6 directs, and then that's what built it up. So we've been averaging 50,000 now. Every year that since RVP, we've been growing. Not an explosion, but we've been growing. So now we're averaging 50. So to my team, I tell my guys like, hey, listen, don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. Instead of thinking bad about recruiting, love it. You know what? If you're averaging 40 and doing 20, well, why can't you average 80 and do 40?
Right.
See that? Why can't you average 150 and then do 100?
We can.
That would be nice.
Thank
Gold
you.
right there. Gold.
Good job.
I have a question.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jasmine?
Hi. Thank you so much, Kylee and Sergio. You guys inspire me. Taking time out of your day. We always talk about the 90-day plan. What are 5 core things that you focus on, like every 90 days?
Every 90 days. So for me, especially when you do like a 90-day madman cycle, right? I get real strict on that stuff. So something that I do is I'll cut off, it sounds crazy, I'll cut off all music for 90 days straight. I've done it like a few times where you actually last the whole 90 days. Nothing, like just, and it sounds crazy because there's no music, nothing to influence my thinking. Because I remember, I'm really, when you do this stuff, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is what gets the results for you. That's what's really happening. So for me, it's on these 90-day madman cycles, at least like a crazy madman cycle to really get things going, I'll shock my whole entire system, my whole body, everything, my thinking, everything. No music, straight growth. If I'm going to focus on growth, is going to be literally for me is going to be this business. So it's me looking at the last 90 days and just analyzing what I did, how far did I get doing what I did, and then now me saying, okay, where do I want to get to in the next 90 days? Well, I want to get to this point. Okay, cool. So now what do we have to do? Well, Sergio, if you want to get to that point, you're going to have to grow more. Now, in what area? In just the fundamentals? No, it's the mentals. I got to grow my mentals, but I'm not going to say you don't work. You're going to compound everything that you do more of. So if I'm literally waking up listening to, let's say, the self-development stuff, I'm going to do that. But everywhere I go, I'm conscious on saying what? For 90 days straight, I'm going to go crazy. The only thing that matters to me is going to be my business, moving my business. If we're not going to have a conversation on business, I don't need to talk to you right now. And that's literally like my focus when I do these things. And everything grows by like the 90 days, right? So think of what you do right now today, or let's say tomorrow, if you start this whole 90-day thing, and instead of starting tomorrow, you literally start right now. After this call, what do you want to change? I want my numbers. I want my life. I want my production, my team size. Okay, after this call, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do after this call? After we end this call, it's 11 at night, Sergio, and it's midnight, Sergio. Oh, okay, what does that mean? What is it? I don't get it. What is that? What do you mean? I can't call no one. That's people call me at midnight, 2 a.m.
No.
See that? So if I want my next 90 days to change, I'm gonna just make that change right now. I'm gonna make that change right now. Kylee, I don't know if do you wanna say anything? No? Okay. She Kylee be having some good stuff because she's on this whole, yeah, she be having some good stuff.
I want to hear from her.
Real quick. She's like trying to think. She's on this whole wave right now of growth right now. It's crazy. It's pretty cool. Here, I'll give it to Kylee, guys.
We went over music. I would definitely say just, sorry.
Sit over here.
Sorry, guys.
Take your time.
I would say basically, I know that he went over the music, your mindset, but I would say even just showing up every day to your place of business. And then also, I know we're in the whole, well, it's kind of over with, but, we're still kind of in the COVID. And I would honestly say just basically getting ready, as if, you're before COVID, coming into the business, making sure you're dressed business attire. That's big just because obviously through COVID, you can sometimes just get more relaxed and have, you're dressed up, but the lower is not, so just because when you're on, Zoom, obviously they can't see that, but it's all more so of, how you feel and getting ready and stuff every day. So I would say those two are big. What else? Yeah, I would say those are big ones.
Nice. Thank you so much. I have another question for you, Kylee. Like, I'm closer to you, we're woman to woman, and I'm just going through a hard time. Like, I'm ready just to cut ties with Primerica. What would you tell me?
Definitely not to give up, basically. I would definitely say, it's actually crazy. Somebody was just talking to me right now, one of our girls. When that happened, at least for me, I don't ever feel like I ever wanted to give up. However, of course there was hard times, as you know, he did speak about it, but I would always turn to, audios, books, all that. I would seek stuff so that way it's built in me more than of the negative talk. So I turned to Miles Monroe. That was somebody big that actually helped me a lot with my self-development, and just plugging into somebody, of course, especially if, you're thinking that, of course, you want to plug into your upline too, because they will obviously help you get off the ledge of you wanting to quit. And so I would definitely say that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I have a question, and this goes for either of you. Tell us what a typical day in your life looks like now, from the very morning.
Okay, well, so for me, for myself, I am vegan. So I wake up at 5 a.m. I have this program going on right now where I have to do like a manifestation. So I wake up doing 20 minutes of just, as soon as I wake up, I listen to something that's going to feed into me. And then I actually write down basically this full script that they have me write down, and either I can, whatever is on my mind, whether it's a goal, anything that is obviously positive, I would have to write that down 10 times. And then, of course, right after that, I go work out, just because that for me is just fulfillment within myself. I feel like my day just gets going. And if I'm going to work out, it's going to be in the morning. I'm not going to be working out, in the middle of the day, because I have my things to do for the business, for our business, Then I go home, I get ready. Right now I'm actually studying for to pass on my securities test.
Nice.
So that's a focus of mine too throughout my day. And then I also, I get ready, and then I do just come to the business. It's crazy because even though we are RVPs, Sergio and I are always at the business. It's our home, just because, we're always on our toes. We want to keep growing. We want to hit 100,000 by 100, so we're not, we're not comfortable.
Right.
We have our hierarchy, there's people that are, running such big numbers that we're just like, man, we need to get up there as well.
Right.
So that obviously has us definitely on our toes.
Awesome.
It's really just all about the business. And I guess just the morning is when I basically have my personal stuff that I do.
What time? Yeah. What time would you say you guys get to the office normally?
Normally I would say maybe like 9-10.
Nice.
Yeah, just because I would get everything done before. So.
Got it. Do you guys ride together, or do you guys ride separately, where you go home, you do your thing, and he stays, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we do ride separately. He sometimes stays longer he does stay longer at the office because he's here with the team too as well. But sometimes it kind of gets loud, so I'll just go home and study for my tests, just right. Because like I am focused on that too, just because we need to pop some RVPs out as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exciting. Sergio, tell me about your day, bro. You say you stay at the office till 1 or 2 a.m., huh?
Yeah. So, for myself, that's what it is, guys. It's eat, sleep, and breathe. The business. We don't have no RVPs right now, so I know we're not safe. I know at the end of the day, we're not safe at all. So because of that, we just stay grounded with the business, and it's straight up. I get here, we eat, sleep, and breathe this. What's up with the team? Hey, you know what? I'm the only one here. It's me and 3 people. Hey, where's everyone else at? You know what? Let's get on a Zoom real quick. Who can I call? The first thing I think of, whether I'm at the gym, anywhere, it doesn't matter. 5, 6 in the morning, right away, I go to my team. I go to my chat, post the numbers. I let everyone know, hey, this is where we rank at right now. This is where number 1 is at. I tell every leader on team chat is I say, hey, listen, I want every leader on here to go look at the numbers and look at where you're at, you know, and see what you have to do to move your numbers. I'll see you guys at the office. So I get here to the office, and like tonight, we'll probably stay here till like 1, 2 in the morning again. And if not, let's say if I leave at like midnight, I go home, and then that's a whole other office for me. I'll eat, do what I got to do, and it's just straight up. You know what? Who has appointments? Who has something? Last night I had got home early. To meet early is like 11. Got home like at 11, and right when I got home, I put on my group chat like, hey, who has appointments? You know, we didn't really close. We closed like a 600, and we gotta get something else up. You know, we gotta up the recruit now that's falling behind. So then people were just messaging me and calling me like, hey, you know what? I got to recruit. So I ended up running 4 back-to-back appointments. I ended up finishing up at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. That's work ethic right there, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, we're about to wrap it up here. Oh, go ahead.
One last quick question from one of my licensed agents. Right now, you guys are at 200,000 of income. Where do you see yourself and Kylee finishing by the end of this year?
Oh man, by the end of the year, $1 million. No, I'm just kidding. SNSD $1 million, right? No, our goal is to get to 400,000 by the end of the year. Minimum 400,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, that's our goal.
Awesome.
That's our goal. So we gotta increase a lot.
Sergio, I got another question. You know, in the Cornegay hierarchy, there's some heavy hitters, bro. Like, these guys don't mess around. They're killers, man. How do you handle competition? What's your mentality? What's your thought process behind the heavy competition that's there?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm pretty sure you guys know April Monte, right? They did like 189,000 or something like that last month. 189,000, I believe. Yeah, and then there's a lot of people, you know, leaders in here that really make you uncomfortable. And for me, guys, like I said, I'm very competitive, so that's what keeps me on my toes is that scoreboard. We would really go at it. Like Alex, it would be to the point, like, let's say we have a live meeting here at the office, all the RVPs or whoever's here, you're getting kicked off the front row. You know, so let's say if I'm sitting in the front and let's say April comes in, or let's say Viv or someone, right? She could take my seat. She'll come up and say, hey, Sergio, I need that seat. What? Where are you at? Well, I'm at 50,000. You're at 30. You kidding me? So that right there. Yeah. So I literally get up in front of everybody and you got to move. But then I'm competitive. So I'm like, okay, well, shoot, I know someone's below me in here. I don't care who you are. I'm kicking you out your seat. So we have fun with it. But for myself, it's like a bittersweet thing. Kind of like a bittersweet thing. Like, man, we should be doing that. Right. We should be doing it. Because of that, check this out, guys. Because of the competition, I've canceled dinners with Kylee. It sounds crazy, okay? I've canceled stuff like that. We've set up to even do just little things, you know? And I go, you know what? No, look, they just closed $5,000 today. We got to find something. You want to really go do this, or you want to find something? You know? Let's have a team meeting today. So that's what that does for us. It just puts us in this space of, no, we cannot fall behind. There's no way we're going to be known as the low producing RVPs. We're not doing that. So I let it be known in here, Alex. I tell people, let's say she's actually here. She's right across from my office right now. We let it be known. I'm coming after you. I was texting her like last month. I said, I'm going to get you. I'm going to catch you. I'm going to catch you. I would text Art, which is crazy, right? Art Martinez. Like, I'm going to catch you, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to catch your base. Everybody, I let it be known.
Oh, yeah.
Once you let it be known, they won't let you live it down. Especially if they're beating you that like ridiculously and it holds you accountable. Because now you're letting the person know, I'm going to catch you. So it's no hate. It's just, I'm going to catch you.
Right. Huge, bro. Huge. One last question. Somebody had one.
Yeah. Hi, Sergio. My name is Marissa. I'm a district leader under Alex. And I had a question. I was just going to say it's super exhausting, you know, having like such a big team and you're trying to pour your energy into everybody, but nothing's really happening. Nobody's really stepping up as a leader. Like, you see potential in your team, but you can't motivate them themselves. It has to come from them. You talk a lot about like selling the vision to your team. But like, what would you say or do to have them, like, encourage them to actually plug into you, so that way you can share that vision?
The way that you do it, you have to do it. See that we want people to move. That'd be the best. I wish my whole team understood it. I wish everyone was fired up and stayed fired up. Some people stop after they make 5,000. Some people have one good month, and that you find out that was their cap. That's what you find out. And some people, like, I see it all the time. It happens in my base. See people have a good month, and I go, "What happened to you?" Like, what's going on? But at the end of the day, and it used to kill me. I used to really get real pissed off. Like, it would bug me because the same person is telling me they want to win. I want to do this, right? I'm like, what the hell? I just spent 3 hours with you. Like, what are you talking about? What happened, right? You disappeared, doing your own thing. You don't care. So what I found out is the way to get people to plug in is no one wants to get left behind. No one wants to miss out. People hate missing out on something. People hate finding out something went down and they weren't there. So the way that I do this is I go, you know what? I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up personally. I'm going to turn it up. I can move people by, let's say, the words and the vision. Don't get me wrong. And the right ones they're going to act on it, guys. The right ones are going to act. The right ones are going to stay on this call. As you see, it went from 180 to 140. You see, I want that 140. That's what I want to talk to.
Right.
See that? Everyone could have stayed on. Not everyone has appointments. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I'm looking for that. You see, now the fat is getting cut off the bone.
Mm.
Not everyone's going to be that beast. But at some point, you start trimming down on it. You don't get mad at it. You say, you know what? I just got to go get more people. And that's the part that we don't want to accept because it's more work from us. So because it's easier to do a call and get on your team, it's easier to talk to a person and, hey, you go do it. Really what you should do is look in the mirror and say, why don't you go do it? And then you inspire. You're going to inspire your team, not motivate. You inspire the team because they see, oh my God, coach is out there. Coach is out there doing it. What? Coach is on the KT? Coach hired a new direct? Coach $3,000 today? Oh, hell no. Hold on. And then the whole team starts coming together. That's when the energy comes in. And the right ones are going to say that. The wrong ones, you need to not worry about that. You let them do what they do. The 80-20 rule, remember that. Remember that, the 80-20 rule. Apply that in everything. And don't get frustrated. Today, I have fun with it. I have so much fun because I understand it now. And I go, oh, this is cool. I knew you would turn it up, and I knew you kind of slow down. But when I turn it up, you pick it up. Well, you don't want to miss out on our best month, huh? You don't want to be the one that says, man, I was out, I wasn't paying, I wasn't working, and the team had their best month and I missed out. And so sometimes I'll do that. I'll talk to my team. I go, we're going to have our best month this month. I just picked up a direct. I just closed 1,000. I closed the 1,500. I just picked up a direct for my directs. Direct. We're going to have our best month. Man, I hope y'all don't miss out on this one. And then people just start going after it again. But not everyone's going to follow, So it's just how it is.
All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Bro, for being so young, man, you're just full of knowledge, Sergio. You've been through a lot in your life. And, man, you've gone for 2 hours right here, bro.
Oh, man, I didn't even realize that.
No, this is great. This is awesome. I'm sorry for keeping you this long, man. Knowing you're probably still going to jump on some recruiting appointments right now once we're done.
100%.
That's huge, man. That's huge. You guys do us a favor and go to the chat. I want you to thank Sergio, thank Kylee for their time, for their knowledge, just for pouring their heart, for being so transparent. They got a crazy ass story. And there's so many Sergios right now working at a warehouse, you guys. Sharp young dudes living that warehouse life, That's so crazy to think. And we got to go out there and recruit them, right? Build our hierarchies and recruit these guys. There we go. There's the messages. There we go.
You guys, thank you guys. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. The 140 that we have, man. You guys had a choice. You know, you guys had a decision to make. You either retreat or you're gonna stay on because you're hungry. You know, and one thing that I will say as we exit, right, is that's what I was afraid of. That's another thing that I was really afraid of, which was it was like me missing something because I knew that I wasn't there yet. You know, it's me missing something. So Gary told me this early on. He said, Sergio, listen, man. He goes, remember, you're going to beat 50% of these people just by showing up. Remember that. 50% of these people are just by showing up, you're going to beat them. But you can find a way to be the last one in the room no matter what. I don't care what it is. I don't care how tired you are. Be the last one in the room. Take notes. I don't care if you heard the same thing 20, 30 times. Take notes. If you come with the intention to receive something, you're going to receive something.
Right.
What I know is for the other 40 people, let's say that had to get off, right? Let's just say, is right now it's just not their season. It's not. You know, it's not their season. When a student is ready, the teacher appears. My first year, it wasn't my season. My second year was, though. My second year was my season. My season of taking action, my season of learning, my season of growing. You know, all you guys on this call right now, man, you should really be proud of yourself because you just beat a lot of people right now just by staying on. It's about to be 11 o'clock at night, and you guys decided to stay on here. I don't care what no one says. If you're tired and you're on this call and you're like, man, right? I get it. I feel you. When you're talking, you could be fired up. When you're not talking, you're like, man, I'm trying to stay up, but geez, hold on, right? I get it. I understand. But be proud of the fact that you stayed on here and you just beat half the room. And as I keep talking, look at 138, then 120, then 100, then it's the top 10. And what do they say? The top 10% is a dogfight.
Yeah.
It's a dogfight. You're going up against people that want it just as bad as you do. See that?
Right.
I just wanted to.
Last man standing, lone survivor. That's it. That's
right,
it.
Right.
Awesome, man. Sergio, you've been amazing, bro. Both you and Kylee. I didn't think we were going to hear from her, man, but she did awesome. I know a lot of the girls here follow her on social media, look up to her, and keep doing your thing, man. You guys are amazing. I know we haven't had a chance to meet yet in person, but I'm sure we will soon. Can't wait,
right,
bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, can't wait to walk up to you guys, give you a hug, and thank you guys for your time. And keep killing it, brother. Keep killing it. Your future's bright, man. Can't wait to see you guys, 10, 20 years from now, when you're almost like, what are you going to be, 48, almost 50 years old? Imagine Sergio and Kylee at 50 years old. What's your life going to look like then? You guys are on track to be legends, bro. Don't stop, man. Keep doing your thing, bro. Thank you so much for your time. I'll shoot you a text in a little bit.
Thank you. Sounds good, Alex. You guys, thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And
Thank
you guys
you.
I'll see you guys.
Awesome. Have a great night, brother. God bless.
Okay.
Woo! Awesome. What a great story.
That was incredible.
What a great story. I think Nathan was looking at his beer like, man, I want to get mine like that. That's goals right there.
One day it'll connect, champ.
That's awesome. Hey, bro, I saw some similarities between you and Sergio. You guys, right? I saw it. I was looking the whole time. I'm looking at everybody's picture and what they're doing and what they're focused on. That's awesome, dude. They got a great story, man. What a story. Awesome job, you guys. Hey, let me, I'm going to stop the recording right here.